Police responded to a call of shots fired at about 3:55 this afternoon on the same block as one of the bodies was found this morning. The officers arrived and they found an adult male shot. He's been pronounced. So this is obviously an expansion of the tragedy from this morning, and we're doing everything we can. Yeah, we are being extra vigilant here. You're going to see a lot of police here for the foreseeable future, and we expect the public, especially in this neighborhood, to be extra vigilant. If you see something, say something. We are looking for the public's help. We've had a lot of support from this community coming out. They want this place to be safe. There are a lot of kids. You see them behind me. A lot of kids here. We need these kids to be safe. When someone fires a handgun, those bullets, the capability of a stray bullet is mostly incomprehensible. It can go through car doors. It can go through literally house walls. It can kill innocent children. So we really need to all come together as a community. And we're going to be out here for the foreseeable future. This is going to be, again, a very long process with this crime scene. We're looking forward to bringing this shooter or shooters to justice as soon as possible. So any questions, I'm happy to take them if I can answer them.
Do we have anything as far as vehicle or suspect description right now?
Right now, not that I can share with you. We have a lot of help from the community. They're giving us various information on what they saw. That does include some vehicles which were leaving the area. We're sorting through which one of those could have been victims or potential witnesses that left the area and which could be suspects. But it is important to say we have a lot of cooperation from the community. Again, just like this morning, it's broad daylight. There's a lot of people out. As you can see, there's probably over 100 people out behind me right now. A lot of them are coming out because of all the police activity. But there were people out here, so many that when the officers arrived, that individuals just walked up to them and started talking to them. So we are getting a lot of information. Sifting through that will get us to the point where we can move forward with that reasonable suspicion, probable cause, getting ready to make an arrest, which I hope will come sooner than later, because this is absolutely insane. 3 murders in one day.
Do you believe these are connected?
I can't say for sure that they're connected, but the experienced police officer in me says there's a very good chance that they're connected, yeah.
Do we know at this point what this could be over?
No, my experience with this type of incident, it's going to be something very petty and something that is not comprehensible to people like the good people standing behind me. When we do have an answer, when we say that this is the reason that this young man was murdered, I don't think it's going to make sense to us. So, I'm sure that there is a reason, but it's not going to be anything that raises to the level that will make sense to those of us standing here or those community members behind me.
Earlier you said that crime was decreasing in the city, and then you also said that the neighborhood kind of felt safe among people. A neighbor said that too to us. What do you have to say to people who are now not going to sleep easy tonight?
Well, this is shocking to me. It's got to be shocking to them. I was out here for a few hours this morning, and a lot of the same people were standing behind me today. I've already had long conversations, and they're just shaking my head, walking up. They can't believe it. I can't believe this either. Crime statistically is down. That's no comfort to this young man here. Now, I will say these don't appear to be random at all. We haven't pieced together exactly how they fit together, but I don't think there's any danger to the community at large. Like I said, having said that, I do want the community, just like the police, we're going to be extra vigilant tonight moving forward until we have this offender or offenders in custody.
This homicide would make the third of today?
That's right, yep. The third of today, and this homicide is literally, 5 or 6 doors down from one of the ones this morning.
And how long do you
never seen anything like this recently?
You have to go back. I mean, if you look back to the Dantzler incident back in, well before I got here, but 3 murders in one day is something that I haven't experienced here. I hope to never experience again.
What can you say, can you tell us anything about the age of the victim? Is it an older person, younger? So
far, the 2 this morning, and we haven't notified their families yet. We have identified the man and woman who were killed this morning. They are adults, but they're young adults. Their lives were cut out much too young in their lives, and I think that that's going to be what we see with this young man here. He does look like he's most likely an adult, but less than half my age likely.
Can you confirm if the 2 found dead earlier were shot?
Well, we're not to that point now yet. That answer is going to come from the medical examiner, and we haven't received that information yet.
Seeing the circumstances of earlier situation, now this shooting, are you guys going to be staying out longer than you did before, or is it going to be that standard 3 hours?
You'll see police out here for a very long time today. Yeah, we're going to be processing the scene, but we're expanding our search for example, video evidence. We're going to have detectives knocking on any door that'll answer the door, especially if there's a camera. We're going to be making those connections, getting that evidence. If the offenders are in a car, which we have reasons to suspect that there was a vehicle involved, we will follow that car as far as we can, as far as looking at stores, looking at residences, anywhere that there's a city camera. Wherever we can find that information, if it's miles and miles away, we will be finding that evidence and bringing it in. This is too important to us not to go as far as we can.
And there's still a lot of unanswered questions right now. You see a lot of neighbors outside on their porches. Talk about the importance of, if you see something, know anything, to say something to help you guys out.
All the neighbors that I talked to today, they want to be safe. They want better for this community. There is a strong sense of community here. Neighbors are out on the sidewalk talking together this afternoon. A lot of them were grieving together. This is not something that they want to say, and part of that, making sure, is you don't tolerate this sort of violence in your neighborhood, and they're not. They're outraged about it. I'm outraged about it, and it's that outrage, the tenacity to make sure that we keep doing what's right, whether it's the police department holding these individuals accountable, the rest of the community working on issues with root causes, with our youth. All the things together, we can get to the point, but we never want to be the city where we tolerate this and move on. This is absolutely outrageous.
And to see 3 shootings, or 3 homicides, I guess we don't know if the first 2 were in fact shootings, in broad daylight. Talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely shocking. And you see this more and more since 2020, since the pandemic, seriously, when you could see a grown adult walking down the street on a nice warm day with a face mask and it no longer be a sign of criminal activity. Now, since then, we've seen more and more criminal acts in broad daylight because individuals wear masks more often, and we need to get away from that being the normal, especially in the city of Grand Rapids.
If someone's watching this who may know something, what would you want to say to them?
Come forward if it's the right thing to do. We now have 3 individuals who lost their lives for at least what I consider now, and likely what I'll consider when I find out the answer, for no reason whatsoever. 3 individuals who had a long life ahead of them, who have lost their lives. So come forward because it's the right thing to do. And then if you don't want to come forward to the police department by calling 911, by calling the main number to the police department, go through Silent Observer. You can call anonymously, you can text anonymously, you can go on a website and submit an electronic tip anonymously. There's no reason not to do the right thing and come forward. It's going to make the city a better place, a safer place for the children behind me and for everybody else. So come forward with that information if you have it.
And we had a pretty heavy police presence here already. How was something like that able to happen so close and so quickly?
Yes, it's to the point where, and the neighbors were talking, we had a camera here earlier in the year, and they were asking if we could bring that trailer camera back, and that's a possibility. But we had officers here for hours this afternoon, but it was a busy day. There's a lot of activity at schools, in different places, auto accidents, and because there doesn't seem to be a police officer that was right there at that specific time, the offender took that opportunity, offender or offenders took that opportunity to commit a heinous crime in nearly the exact same place that the same crime was committed earlier in the day.
And have you found a gun or any type of weapon at this time, or bullet casing?
The only thing I'm able to say about the forensic evidence, because you could see it if you were here earlier, there are numerous shell casings on the street. Of course, every one of those is valuable forensic evidence towards us, so that's huge. It also helps us identify what type of gun, the size of the gun, and that's certainly a step in the right direction as far as following it. But further evidence, if we've recovered weapons, things like that, I'm not ready to get into at this time.
And are those just for this situation or also for the one earlier as well?
That's right. That is for this situation. We did collect a lot of evidence on the earlier scene, but I'm not ready to make those facts public at this time.
And obviously the investigation is ongoing, but do you think that this shooting may be retaliation for the first shooting?
It very well could be. I'm not ready to say that, but I think it's probably a stretch to think that a murder that literally happened a stone's throw from a very violent murder earlier in the day isn't related. So the experienced investigator in me says that it's most likely related, but it's possible it isn't, but I'm guessing it is. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. And I hope to thank you for getting the message out there that we need the help, and hope to update you soon with good news as soon as possible.